Good morning. I'm just gonna wait. My friend should be popping in here any minute now. It's Saturday. Is that my friend? Is that my friend? Let me see. Hello. How y'all doing? I'm just trying to get my co-hosts in here. Hi, good morning. Happy Saturday. There she is. Okay, so we got her. Hey, Marissa. Good morning. Sheri's coming. She said she had to grab a little something before she came on. So
Good morning.
hi everybody. Your hair looks fabulous this morning. I know you always think that I'm crazy. It's just like the waves and it's nice and full of body. I just love it.
I'm cutting it all off on Monday.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's really dry and coarse, and like I could scrub a cast iron skillet with my ends right now.
Yeah, I just got a trim not long ago, but I dry it and flat iron it almost every day, so it's a little rough. That's cool. Thank you. I've grown to love my big nose as well.
Big nose actually saved my grandma from breaking her hip. Fun fact.
I love fun fact time.
She was 85 or 87 years old, and she was shuffling to a doctor's appointment. My aunts were with her, and she tripped and she busted up her face a little bit, but they got in the doctors, and the doctor's he actually said, he's I'm not trying to be, because we're Portuguese, we got big old noses, and he was your nose broke your fall. And he was if
That's
you hadn't
awesome.
landed just right, he's this would have been a lot worse, because if an 80-something-year-old falls,
it's bad.
Yeah. But she just ended up with a broken nose, which is 1,000 times better than a broken hip.
Yeah.
And he's your nose broke your fall, ma'am. So right for big noses.
Hey, Kristen. Good morning. I saw you. I didn't want to interrupt her story time, so I love her story.
Hi, Kristen. Sorry.
It's something awesome. So
I have nowhere to
there's
stand my
Sheri.
phone.
There she is. Okay.
I texted Peggy, but I was if you can sleep, just sleep.
Let her sleep.
Hey, you guys want to see something fun?
Always.
There's the cover of Shadow.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that was it. I did. I just invited you, Sheri. There you go. Okay. Sheri is so bossy. She's
Sorry, it was. Stop it. Be nice. I'm tired.
I don't know.
I've had a rough morning already.
No.
Sorry. Hey, now that you're on, I wanted to show you. So for everybody who's just popping on and doesn't know who we are, Kate up there started the Romance Riot writer Discord, and Sheri and I are admins in the group. And we recently,
April.
huh?
Don't let her fool you. She's a founder too.
Okay, well, I am a partial founder, but Kate is the HBIC. So we recently put out an anthology, and I have I do this thing when I do arcs, and because I don't make a ton of money at this, I can't give everybody a paperback, so I always do like a giveaway. I can't always do a giveaway for everybody, so I'll do one drawing. So like if you do a video and tag me, then your name goes into the drawing. And so I got my winner, and I ordered the paperback. I just ordered it directly from Amazon because it's just as inexpensive to just do the Prime delivery. So I am going to open this with you guys if I can get the package open. My wrist has been bothering me. Robin, good morning. Did you see that I hit the button on the audiobook?
I'm so excited.
Robin really enjoyed the audiobooks. So Robin is one of those readers that I was stalking for a really long time, you know, and I really wanted her to read my books. So the opportunity presented itself to offer her a code for the audiobooks when they came out. And I was like, hey, listen, I don't know if you want to listen, just hear it. And she ended up liking them. So I was so excited because you know what I mean? Like, as the other authors here know, like, I know the readers, you know, always like, oh, I fangirl over this author, but we fangirl over the readers that we really want to check out our stuff and like it, you know. But it's always a toss up because even if you get them to read your stuff, it's like, are they going to like it? Are they going to hate it? Are they going to think I'm dumb? So yeah, I'm excited. And so she really enjoyed the first two, so I had to like give her a little shout that I pushed the button on book 3. So we'll have an audiobook hopefully next couple of weeks. So here it is.
Aww.
So this is the anthology that we put out as a group, and Sheri did so much work on this. Ashley, there's Ashley. Oh, I love Ashley.
Good morning. I'm holding up a pretend one, guys.
Ashley was one of my first like fans, you know, so I love her guts so much.
We love Ashley.
But yeah, so it's not inverted, obviously, but it's straight in your crown. M. Garner did this so pretty. Yeah, Marissa, saved book 3 will be out soon, so be watching for that because I know you want a code too. Here's the back. It's a little thick. Obviously, the anthology is, you know, these are all shorter stories. We had like a 10,000 word limit, but there was 15 authors, so it's a little fat girl. So one of my readers won this.
Okay, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, nice, Robert.
Ooh, Robert, yay!
I need to get some, but like I've been away, so I didn't want to order any, but I need to get a couple.
Did you check the Discord this morning? I did our numbers, and we sold 11 paperbacks.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And like here's just one of the pages. There's nice little formatting in here. So we had the cover was donated by Elizabeth Garner, who is also an author. Be sure to check out her stuff. She is kind of on the Kate level with the Diet Spice, but really great romances. But yeah, she donated the cover, so we didn't have to worry about coming up with money for that because this was a charity anthology, and all of the proceeds are going to the charity, which is for the National Women's Shelter. Mm-hmm. And then we had Leona West did the formatting for us. Again, donated her time and energy. And Sheri donated her whole ass soul to running the whole ship for this. Because when I say
and like, keeping tabs on me,
like trying to organize, you know, 14 other authors, because Sheri is a participant. She does have a story in here, The Candy Crypt. And when you're trying to corral 14 like artists, okay, like it's rough. It's a rough go. We're all crazy, and a different kind of crazy. Not two of us are the same kind of crazy. So Sheri really had her work cut out for her putting up with us because this has been in the works for months since last summer.
Yeah, it took us a while, but like
we really focused so much on the last couple of months, but we set all this up and like contracts went out months ago. It was summertime, which was really funny because we knew we were gonna do St. Patrick's Day release. So I was like, ooh, I want to write mine around St. Patrick's Day. How cute will that be? Let me tell you, it's hard when it's Thanksgiving and like holiday time to think about St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully my story didn't seem silly.
And here I'm like, that went straight over my head. I'm like,
I mean, because, it's at the club. So, of course, the club was going to have some sort of festivities because club has, beer and music and stuff. And St. Patrick's Day, everybody drinks the green beer. So I thought it would be cute to kind of tie that in. And, but yeah, I was like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. But I think I somehow pulled it off.
You did. You pulled it off.
But yeah, oh Robert, wow, like so many different
Robert, you ran a
personalities
zine?
that she had to deal with. It was crazy.
Robert just gets cooler and cooler.
Right?
Robert's awesome.
Stuff about him that we didn't know, and it's like,
But yeah, so one of my readers won this paperback, and I'm gonna sign this bad boy. And then some of the other authors are sending me book plates so that they can get signatures from most of the authors. Some of them are not able to send them, but I'm trying to collect as many as I can.
Did you get mine?
I have not gone to the post office. Did you send it to the post office?
I don't remember.
I
I think I had your regular address.
sent it to her.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
it should be sitting in my mailbox because my post office.
if it was sent to me, I haven't gotten it yet unless it comes today. But if it was sent to the post office, I haven't gone. And I gave everybody else the post office. Like, I have a couple of people who know my actual home address, but for the most part, like, I have a PO box for my author stuff just because that's a smart thing to do. So, and that's what I put in the Discord just in case. So, but yeah. So one of my readers is getting this. She's super sweet, and she actually won a different drawing the same day by another author, and I was like, this is her lucky day. Like,
Yeah,
you're racking up over here. So I'm excited to gift this to her. I need to get myself another copy, but I wanted to make sure I could get this one for her since it was promised. But yeah, I just wanted to show everybody because I finally got one in the mail. It's so pretty. And yeah, we had a lot of hands in this. A lot of people donated their work and their time to help make this happen so that all of the money could go to the National Women's Shelter. So super cool. It is in Kindle Unlimited, but just a reminder, I know like we really push our readers to check out our stories in these anthologies, but when books are in Kindle Unlimited, you get paid per the page read. So please check out some of the other authors that are also in here. Anthologies are a really great way to get a taste of other people's work. With very little investment of time and very little investment of money. So that way, like, even if Kate has some readers,
thanks,
Ashley, you're the best. I will send you, Ashley, I'll send you a book plate if you remind me. I have your address.
And
I already know where you live.
I'll send you a book plate, Ashley, when I get home.
Yay!
Is like, it's like just bonus because that is an expensive thick boy. So like people who are willing to drop $16 on us, like that makes my heart feel so good. Like
well, and honestly, a lot of people would price this higher. And Sheri was like, I can't charge that much, and I'm like, dude, it is thick and it's for charity. Like most books that are this thick cost way more than that, and they're not even for charity. So but yeah, all of the money is going into the charity. So yeah, anytime that you guys download it, order the paperbacks. What I was saying is if you do read it on Kindle Unlimited, please check out some of the other authors since we do get paid per page read. Because listen, I get it. Like the reason we have books in Kindle Unlimited is so that people can use that subscription and they're not having to pay a ton extra. So if you're going that route, we appreciate you, but just swipe through some of the other ones. Don't swipe fast because Amazon will tag that and they'll be like, oh, we're not going to pay you for this one. What are you doing?
Amazon like buffers your reading speed because I was reading last night and like
you read fast.
Yeah, and I
does
fast, but so it buffers because like I was going through the book and like it was short. It was a short story, but as I went, like it was going shorter and shorter, way faster than it should have been. So like it started at a 55-minute read. And then it went to like an hour and 30-minute read because I stopped reading long enough to like do something with my kids, but I left it open. And then when I went back, it was faster and I was like, it really took me like all told like 45 minutes to read because it's a story. But
hey, Rose.
Morning, Rob.
Sorry, I'm just trying to say hey to the
Sam
folks
just
as I see
joined.
them coming
Good
in.
morning, Sam.
We
But
love her.
yeah, one thing, like if you're on here and you're a reader, if you order paperbacks, so if you want to ask, we can. I use Word Runner sometimes for my phone. Oh, nice, Robin. Look, she's like, listen, I'm gonna get y'all at the page read. I also sometimes like, please don't tell my narrator this, but you know, it's hard for me to sit down and read with my eyeballs sometimes, but I can listen. So I will use Alexa to read to me. And if you have the book in Kindle Unlimited and you say, Alexa, read me Straighten Your Crown anthology from my Kindle library, that will get us the page reads as well. And I may or may not have set Alexa the other night to do that and just turned it down while I was working on something. Hey, listen.
Sneaky. See, my Alexa's hooked up to my husband's thing, so I'm like, I don't know if I can get it to read or go up my books, but
Like I downloaded Alexa to my phone. And it's all connected. Like you have to log in with the Amazon thing that's connected to your KU library or whatever, or your Kindle. And then it'll work. So you do have to like log in with the same one that you use to download the books and stuff. Oh, nice. Yeah. That's why I started using, I finally bit the bullet and got Book Funnel, Robin, to do my arcs because one of my readers who I love, Sheri, so Blue Eyed Book Lover 91, you guys probably have seen her on here. You know, she had a brain tumor over the summer that had to be removed, and there was a lot of stuff going on with her eyes, and she couldn't read, and she's a huge reader. And she said that if I send it through BookFunnel with the EPUB, that she can still listen using Alexa. So I literally started paying the monthly fee to use that so that she could still listen to my books in advance, because she was one of my advanced readers. I don't have a large ARC team, which is fine, but the ones that I do have, I love them, and I'm like, I want to make sure that they can enjoy it. So when she told me after surgery that she couldn't read, I was like, what do we do to fix it? So, and she told me that other authors that had sent her stuff through BookFunnel, that you could still use Alexa. So I was like, well, that's what we're gonna do. And it's actually turned out to be great, because now, like, if I want to send a freebie, hey, how's it going? If I want to send a freebie, or if I want to set up arcs, it's been a lot simpler, because I was sending arcs like straight to people's Kindles, which is great because it's a protection for the author. It helps cut down on people pirating your ARC copies and stuff. But man, it's a lot of work because you got to do it individually. So if you get enough ARC readers and you're trying to send straight to their Kindle, like you have to manually send each one individually, you know. So it's been nice to have BookFunnel. I haven't really played around with some of the other options I can do, but I should. But it's nice. So, but good morning, everybody.
I'll do at my next book.
Morning, Sam.
Someone commented, they're like, "When's your next book coming out?" I'm like,
Wait,
what? Like, oh, fuck, I gotta write something.
My next book is coming out like in April.
I just put one up on Vella, and it's not complete, so it's kind of a weird.
I will get that on the Romance Riot, but I went to go do it last night, and my battery was dead, and then the cousins came, and it was chaos. So I'm gonna do that today. I'll get your thing up on the. No, I'm liking like the whole blog thing, because it's just copy paste for me and then post. But
that's cool, because it's getting you back into using it, you know.
It's giving me like a routine, and it's giving me something to focus on and like work on, and it's like little bits of stuff. And so like everyone's like, this is a big undertaking, a lot of work for you, and I'm like, you don't understand. It's like tiny little like micro bits of like responsibility that I can manage, and I think it's good.
Yeah, oh, Daisy, thank you.
Eek.
I've never really read on Vella, but
I haven't read on Vella, but I feel like now that I have a book there, I need to get me some coins. I know. So Lori Cohen has books in Vella. Like, so her books she puts in Vella first, and then she goes over to KU. So at least like I know somebody over there that I could get some coins. And also I have another friend, Claire.
Oh, I was just saying, I feel like Kathleen did Kindle.
Claire has a rom-com, which she writes well, she has the dark, where is it?
The academia one?
The dark academia, which I was like, is this dark or is it like gray? Because I didn't feel like it was super dark. And she told me it's a little more gray, but there's not like a gray category,
Thanks for stopping in, Ashley.
Bye, Ashley. Thank you for getting that paperback. Seriously, I'll
Thank
send you.
you.
It means so much to us. We really appreciate that.
Matter of fact, let me just write
April, if you get my my book plates, there was 2 in there. You can send one of mine to Ashley too.
I'll do it.
I'm gonna look today when we go buy groceries to see if I can find the clear labels the way you guys do. So.
I got mine off Amazon, I think.
I hate the bank. I'm
663.
angry with the bank, so I'm trying not to order anything offline.
I mean, you don't have to do the clear ones. It's just a reader actually made that suggestion to me, because when somebody asked me for one, because they ordered paperbacks,
Rose,
not realizing that I would do signed copies, and I was like, what the hell is a book plate? And I thought it was something crazy and fancy that I just didn't understand, and I felt so dumb. So I started Googling, and I was like, is this just labels? These are just labels.
First time I looked into it, I looked into like getting ones like made where they were
with borders and stuff.
Yeah, I made pretty ones, but I never.
Some people do, and some people do the borders, and then they charge for them. Like on their website, you can order book plates, and I'm like, or I could just do the simple one, and like I can eat the stamp. If you bought my paperback, I'm okay sending you this label. But somebody told me, this cutie little reader, she told me another author had done this and she loved it. So it's like, it wasn't necessarily my idea or her idea, but another author had done a clear label. So when you put the label onto the page, it looks like it's on page unless you're like really up close and investigating it. So like if they hold it up on TikTok or whatever, it looks like it was signed. And I was like, that's actually really cool. So that's why I started using them. But a ton of people just do the regular ones. And a tipped in is a sign. Yeah, and I see, like, I've seen Katie Robert do the tip sheets, and Diana Gabaldon, she does tip sheets for this one bookstore that's like really big on her books. So, but I'm like, I don't know how I would be able to send those individually to one person without jacking it up, because it has to be like the size of the book. They literally, it's like a page, it's a whole page of the book, and you slide it in. But I'm like, it seems like I would have to get special envelopes to send it so that it didn't get bent and stuff. You know what I mean? Whereas if I just do the little label, I can pop it in a regular envelope and like maybe do like a thank you card, and that way it's fine. But I see tip sheets. But I mean, like, if I'm at Katie Robert level, I would probably be okay doing a tip sheet. You know what I mean? Like,
small on her level.
Yeah, like in sidebar, I've thought about making this a video before, but I'm like, I don't want to be creepy McCreeperson and like freak her out. But Katie Robert is somebody that I would love to sit down and have a beer with sometime. Like, she seems like the coolest chick ever. Okay. Like, even if you don't enjoy those kind of books, like, you have to admit, she just seems like a cool lady. Like, just super chill, super cool, very no BS. Like, just kind of mind your business, do your thing, I don't know. I just, like, that's one of those things, they say to speak things like that into existence. I would like to have a beer with Katie Robert one day. So
Yeah, just have her tell me her ways, right? Like, I want to be as cool as her. She seems so.
I don't know if you can learn that, though. You know what I mean? Like, she's just so cool. Like, I would love to be as cool as her, but I don't know if I'll ever achieve that.
I think you're pretty dang cool.
Well, we're each cool in different ways, right? Like, I mean, we're just not as cool as her, but like,
yeah.
Hey, Kate, when are you coming home so I can send you your package?
I think we fly in on the 1st.
I have something for you too, so remind me, because Kate is going to get a copy of this, but I didn't want to.
I
She's a character. She's a character in the book. She's a character.
I have that, and I was like, where am I gonna hide that? And so we weren't in Vegas. We flew into Vegas. We weren't there long enough. So I'm like, an hour in Havasu.
Thank you, Kristen.
Now we're going back to Vegas, and I'm like, I hide it in Havasu. Do I hide it in Vegas? Like, where can I hide your book for a future reader to find? I'm like, I might hide it in Havasu because there's a lot going on here right now with like all the spring breakers and stuff. Not that people are reading books on spring break, but still.
They could be.
I'm reading books on spring break because my kids are home.
It's not that kind of and there's a lot of pasties here.
But like, if they get really hammered one night, they might be sitting by the pool the next day to recover, and they might need a book to read.
You guys have never been on spring break, have you?
No, like, so we didn't have it like that growing up. So no, actually, I have not.
They might bring it home and like read it.
There you go. On the flight home.
What do you do when you find a book that has the same title? Did I ever tell you this?
Nora Roberts was the same title as me.
I'm scrolling through Facebook over here, and I just saw a book that's titled Black Rose.
Yeah, Nora Roberts. I have Nora Roberts' book that's called Black Rose.
You told me that first.
Because when
somebody read Wraith right before I was about to publish it, and they're like, "Oh, your female hitman is named Wraith. Like, there's a whole female assassin in the Shadow and Bone series named Wraith." And I'm like, my eyes started twitching, and I was like, "That's it."
Really
well, I wrote right before my Scribd story came out, the Love Con. I found out that another like super famous rom-com writer had one, and hers came out literally a week after mine came out on Scribd, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
You know how many books there are called Love Again? And there's actually a new movie coming out now, and it's got Sam Heughan in it. And I'm like moderately upset because I love Outlander, and Sam Heughan was Jamie, you know, and now it's this other whole story though, and I'm like,
now Jamie can never be Boyd because he's already been in a Love Again.
He wouldn't be Boyd anyway.
Okay, so that's fine then.
I've ever seen anything with him in it because I categorically refuse to watch that show, and I won't read her books because that author's a raging bitch. But like, so I've never.
But I love that story. I'm really sorry. I love that story.
I've never seen the show, and I've not read the book, so I don't. All I know about him is what I've seen from like shows and stuff. So, and I've never seen anything else with him in it, like at all.
He's got a few like there's some action movies that he did.
He was in the running to be the next rom-com, but I think they moved away from that.
He did another rom-com, and he's got some action movies. Like, he's got other stuff out, and like Alan has watched the action ones and stuff. It was weird for me because I don't know, like I didn't fangirl over him. I fangirled over Jamie. He's a really great actor, but that's the thing. Like, it was him, not the dude. Now, when they came out with him and one of the other guys from the show did this thing where they toured Scotland basically and went to different.
Graham McTavish. See, I fangirl.
But so they did like this little thing stuff where they like drove through Scotland and you learned about different things, and it was a really neat show. But it was then that I realized, I was like, yeah, I don't have the hots for him. It's Jamie, you know, and because he seems like a super cool guy. But that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, the whole, like, yes, he's very built, cut, whatever you want to call it. That's cool. But I don't like
you want to know what?
Because of that, you know. But
I'm gonna say it. Really great. I think the older guy's hotter.
But even
something about him.
Yeah, there's something about Graham McTavish.
The woman who plays Kate in I think in real life she kind of sucks.
No, she's in Ford versus Ferrari.
But no, I mean not as an actress. I mean as a person. Like, she's kind of a B. But at least that's just what I've heard. But I don't follow people like that. But the acting in that show, just superb. And the thing is I watched the show before I read the books, and I don't nobody come for me, please. If I hadn't already watched the show, I would not have been able to make it through that first book.
That first book's a lot.
The level of detail, and you guys know, like, my books are short and sweet and to the point. There's like, I give a little description so you can kind of set the scene, but I do not spend that much time on description for people or places. Like, I give you enough to get you through. Man, there was a lot of stuff in that book that, like, it could have been half for me, and it still even would probably been a little long, but because I had already watched the show, I was like, ooh, I need to read these now, you know. And I kept thinking to myself, I don't know, because I'm the queen of DNF. I will DNF so fast it'll make your head spin. And, like, if anybody here watching, if you pick up one of my books and you're not vibing with it, if you're not vibing with my book in the first couple of chapters, DNF it. I don't, like, please. Life is too short to read books you don't want to read. But, and I thought that some of the things that the show did, because, you know, the show took liberties, right? They made a lot of changes. They made some big changes. And one of them in particular, I really liked what the show did with Murtaugh versus what happened in the book. So, like, I thought that character did fantastic through the rest of the series, you know, and in the book, like, spoiler, if you wanted to read Outlander and you haven't,
Good morning,
Murtaugh dies in the first, like, he gets killed early on. So, but in the show, he's there for a while, and he was
They did that with American Gods.
Yeah.
They let the leprechaun
live. That was a
huge
change. Saren, good morning.
That's because the leprechaun deserved to live.
Yeah, but, like, they let so American Gods did that. They let the leprechaun, and the leprechaun was a good character that you wanted to live.
Yeah.
They let him live in the series. But then in the Magicians, like, she didn't die in the book, but she, like, fades out real quick. They made the girl that the main character, like, his buddy's girlfriend or whatever that he was, like, in love with, she fades out in the book, and then but they made her a main character in the series, and it's just like, what the, it doesn't compute. Like, it's just like,
you know what you just said, right? So, like, The Magicians, that book is the first book I ever DNF'd.
Really? I loved the book.
That book pissed me off so bad, I literally threw it across the room. Like, no, fuck this. And so I never watched the show because I hated the book so much.
The show is so far different. You might like the show because it's so different from the book.
And on American Gods, I love Neil Gaiman. He's one of my top 5 favorites. That is the only one of his books I couldn't get through.
Really?
Yeah,
I loved American Gods. I love the book, and I loved.
But the show was really good.
The show was really good.
It was such a slog for me. I mean, I finished it, but I did not finish it willingly.
Oh, I loved it.
So, like, let me just absorb this moment. For some reason, Sheri likes my books, but the way I've heard her talk about other books that are wildly popular, it always makes me feel, like, special that she enjoys my books.
Yeah, his
I don't need a label. I just need Sheri's stamp of approval, and I'm good.
You should get her a rubber stamp. Sheri approves.
Opinions on books. And I get really mad when it's like a super, super popular book, and I'm like, what is the point of this? Like, why does everybody love this? And then I'm like,
picked up the rest of the series of The Magicians, but, like,
that I was 2 chapters in, wanting to literally reach through the pages and strangle Quentin.
Oh, Quentin's a whiny little bitch. I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
Like, I don't understand how anyone got past that. The book I read the other day for the Trans Rights Readathon, there was a character in that book that said babe, like, every other sentence, and I got so mad at that I just started skipping his scenes. And that would have been a 5-star. I loved everything else about it, but that character, like, made me so angry, and I skipped pages, so I docked a star, because I'm mean.
Could that be a marketing?
There, a lot of people hate my main female characters in all of my books, so that's a preferences funny thing. Everybody's so different on the things that they like and don't like, but yeah, I think my problem is with the popular books is when it's really hyped up. Like, I get it, people love it, and so they hype it up, but then I get, like, these unrealistic expectations that I'm going to love it, and then so when I start reading it, I'm like, Eh.
Amy is
Oh,
my book.
Marissa, thank you. Listen, Amy's like my
God.
favorite. So,
Yeah,
but
Amy's great.
but you know what I mean? Like, I
Matt.
think that's what bugs me, that it was so hyped and everybody's like, you're gonna love it. And then you're like, do I
I
know? Like, so it's almost like, well, I feel like, and I understand why people come on and they're like, you lied, Book Talk. And I'm like, that's really strong to say that people lied. It's subjective, but it's my own problem that I went into it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, never say that like Book Talk lied or like my friend who wrecked this book lied. Like,
I
no, because people.
people
bad.
have
Yeah.
different preferences.
But
I mean,
my thing that bothers me is when people talk about trigger warnings of a book, but they don't give me the trigger warning that like that would be my trigger warning. Like I went into Mexican Gods so excited, so excited. Not Mexican Gods, Mexican whatever, the
Dirt,
Silvio Garcia book. What's God?
I
The
know
one.
it.
American Dirt,
No, Mexican.
Well,
Gothic.
um,
Gothic. I went to Mexican Gothic so excited. I've been waiting for that book. I got my library to buy that book so I could read it, and then I DNF'd it because the one trigger warning that is my one is no one told me about it. I didn't know. Like I was like so mad. It was
see,
so.
like I feel like I go overboard with like all the content warnings, but then like I hear conversations like this that I'm like, did I cover enough? Like,
It was like the one thing that like I cannot get
but
past.
like,
but I think what Sherry's saying, it wasn't in the book. She was basing it off of what other people said. Like, so
I read the trigger warnings and I read people's reviews who had trigger warnings in it. And the one thing that was my trigger warning, no one that listed. It wasn't listed anywhere. And I was
even
like, are
by the
you
author. So the author had other trigger warnings, but not that one.
not the INC word? And I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
That's a big one to miss.
Right?
wow.
That's eugenics, but they never talked about that.
That's a big one to miss, because that's also a hard pass for me. Like I like, everybody can read whatever they want, but like I have some hard lines on a couple of things.
I have like two hard lines that I won't go past. And I was like, no one told me about this one. Like I won't even read like step sibling things or like adopted siblings or step like that all squicks me out so bad. It's not even fun. Like
Yeah, taboo's not really my thing. Like, there's a huge market for it, but that's because that's pretty much what that it falls into. That's like the taboo category. And I just, like, I can do some darker theme stuff, and like I'm starting to get to where like I can read a little more live violence on page, I guess, whereas, a couple years ago it was really hard for me. But
Thank you for
there's
reading my
still
book.
some stuff like taboo that I can't do, and I'm like, yeah, no, because I just don't enjoy it. I also, though, there's a ton of like rom-coms, like, so Secret Baby, pregnancy, stuff like that. I don't dig those. Like, I hated being pregnant, so I don't want to read about that through my whole romance book.
oh
But a lot of people love it, so, and that's not a taboo thing, that's a normal thing. So, but that's one of those things where like Rebecca has that in one of her books under her pen name Isla Asher, and I read it, but that's because I had already established her as a favorite author of mine. So like, I'll read whatever she writes. I might not enjoy it as much as the other ones, but I'm still gonna read it. Even
yeah.
she has
I
sci-fi dystopian, and I was like, if this had any other author's name on it, I wouldn't be reading it. But because it's got Rebecca on there, I'm gonna have to go for it. So
yeah, that's me in your MC books. Like MC is not my thing, but I'll read it because it's yours.
I have plans for another one. So I'm going to continue on with the novellas with the same MC club, but I'm going to have a new MC club that'll be like full length, but that won't be anytime right now. Like, I'm doing this rom-com with Bella right now. And I might do a couple more of the Steely Ridge because they're shorter. They're like novellas. And then I need to flesh out the rest of the club series, because the one in the anthology will be a full length eventually. I would love it. Like, if I could have that ready by the time the anthology's done, that would be perfect.
That's like 3 months, sweetheart. 3 months.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I
Good.
forgot to write fast.
You read fast. She writes fast.
And
I'm just off here chasing squirrels. Like,
my goal for my Antho short is next year. It's like, because mine is just a lead in. It's like the place and the people, and then next year I've got two novellas set to go at the beginning of next year.
I love novellas. May I
you
tell
guys
you?
have planned for like next year?
I have all of next year planned.
Yeah, I
Kate
don't think
needs an adult, guys.
Listen,
Look,
I tried to plan book 2 of the Anam Cara, and if anybody didn't realize,
this
that
year
has passed. That
this,
deadline.
this year.
Sherry, will you be my adult?
I have to, because if I
I'm
don't,
slow too, Robert. It's mostly a time thing, and then when I read, it's like if I actually get to sit down and read with my eyeballs, it's hard for me to focus. So,
see,
Sam.
for me, attention span.
Oh
Like,
my God,
I
Sam.
enjoy writing, but like I get distracted so easily. It's like ridiculously not funny.
See, if I sit down, I'm like, I'm gonna write tonight. I sit down and like, no words.
Where's
Sam needs to write.
Sam's pre-order is up for book 4.
Oh, if Sam, when is your release date? I'll throw it on the Riot blog.
Or wait,
Message me
book
on
5.
Discord.
Book 5.
Yeah, it's book 5.
Am I stupid?
If you guys are in the Romance Riot, if you guys have a book coming up, message
So
me
I have
your
Sam.
blurb, your cover, and a link, and I'll throw them on the blog.
Sam's books. I'm so jealous right now.
I can't wait for the next one.
I pre-ordered Lizzie's book, and I'm not allowed to buy any more books anymore for a while.
I am a bad
My
person.
husband keeps being like, so there was a $1.99 charge and a 99-cent charge and like a $3 charge. I'm like, yeah, those are books. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I have Kindle Unlimited. I buy all the ebooks.
My husband got me Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, message me your stuff.
Unlimited for like up to 2 years, and you get like 6 months off. So basically, I have KU for 2 years already paid for, and we only had to pay for a year and a half. I'm a sucker for a good deal. So the thing is now that I have Kindle Unlimited, like I have to utilize Kindle Unlimited, So I asked Lizzie, because I love rom-coms, obviously. So Lizzie's book, and I've been following her for a while, and she's adorable. The book sounds so cute. So when I got her newsletter the other day, I emailed her right back, and I was like, is this going to be in KU? So, because I'm going to read it,
help her.
but I have to use KU.
Trying really hard to get to 20 pre-orders, so I want to help her get to her pre-orders. Because Kate helped me get to my pre-orders, so I figured it's only fair to, spread the love.
That's the thing. Like, I don't stress about pre-orders because my books are in Kindle Unlimited, and the majority of my readers read it there. I have readers, which I don't expect anybody to do this. It's bananas that people do this, but I have readers that will read it in Kindle Unlimited. It comes out. Then they download it. Then they purchase the paperback from me signed. I'm like, you don't have to do all the things,
I don't fans like that. I don't find fans like that.
It's amazing. I love them. There's like 5 of them, but still, like, it's great.
I'm so jealous. I want fans that. I have like one friend from like back in the day, like back in school and stuff, who she reads everything I put out. Like she's the only person I know who honestly has read everything I put out, and I love her. Like I love her. But that's it. Otherwise, it's.
I know Robert is goals. He's got things planned out to 2025.
He's like,
bad habits. I can't.
I put another book out. I put another book out. He's like pumping out 50,000 word books once a month, and I'm like, what? Like I even thought last year was bananas, and even then I still wasn't putting out 50,000 word book once a month. So like
bananas for me because I'm like re-releasing a bunch of my titles. So like, but like I'm kind of pumping them up a little bit and giving them new covers and re-editing them, and so like, but it's still like I'm not writing as much this year. I'm mostly, but I have started the sequel to Three Souls. And I wrote down the other day what's going to be the sequel to the newest script, which is the Shy Kinky Boy. Because I was in the shower and I said, oh, so I've got that idea written down. But other than that, not a whole lot of new stuff for me this year.
Kate, what are you working on?
She's right.
She's like, don't put me on the spot.
I am working on Lachlan. I would like to get him out this summer. I just have to do, I'm like a third through.
You got this, babe.
I just need an adult. Like,
Volunteer.
I have the first 2 chapters of Queen, which would be the 3rd book in the Wraith series, which I want to get out towards the end of the year.
Oh, I'm reading Shadow next week, like on Monday, because I want to get through the this weekend of the Trans Rights Readathon. I got 2 more books I want to read. And then on Monday I'm gonna read Shadow, because I've been putting it off, and then Elle's new book.
Okay.
I want to read Elle's new book.
I went to go get a couple books for the Trans Readathon or whatever, but like the ebooks, like, and I'm not like trying to be like, oh, it's not worth the money. I just don't have $11 to spend on an ebook.
I found a couple to you. Do you want me to send you the link?
I need shorts though, because my attention span right now is.
I found 2 really cute short graphic novels that were really cute.
Text me them, because I don't know.
And the one I read last night, A Psalm for the Wild Bill, that was freaking adorable. It was so sweet, and it's like cozy sci-fi. And I was so mad when I went to look for the second book, and it's $12.
Cozy sci-fi. I could get into that.
It's an ebook that's 152 pages, and it's $12. And I was like,
I'm not, I just, because I buy all the ebooks, so I'm like,
I get that.
And it's $12.
Huh?
This paperback is 200 pages, and it's $12.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
the shorts.
The publisher. I get that.
You want to drop them in the As Seen on Sips on the Discord?
Yeah, y'all look at As Seen on Sips in Discord, because other people are asking.
Yeah, because I'd like to participate. I just I'm broke.
I'm dropping
Sam, I am going because Sam was, Wraith or Queen and Lachlan. The day the anthology came out, blew up my direct messages. She read my short story, and Sam messages are like the only reason why I write now. So
I've said the same thing. I work for
Lori. Lori's really good at getting me to
write for messages from Sam.
Yeah. So Sam, I am going to be expanding that one to maybe novella length, hopefully novel length once I get the rights back. But there is also another. I don't know if it's going to be a series in the sense that you're going to follow the characters, or if it's just going to be like the Horse Girl collection, because I don't know. I have another horse cowgirl kind of thing brewing. That one's been brewing for a while.
You could do a collection, or you could do a series. You could even have a series and then do a spin-off of similar stuff.
Yeah. But I'm going to warn everybody right now that the next Horse Girl one I write, the opening scene's going to be hard, but it's basically what I went through with my horse. So shut up, everybody. It's how I'm healing.
You're going to mess me up, aren't you?
I had to live through it.
So now I got to live through it too? Because I have to read it if you write it. So
that one won't be for a while. I do want to do a couple shorts. I do have some ideas for some short stories. And
once you can nail down writing shorts and novellas, it becomes addicting, because it's a nice break in between the full length, because it's, I don't know, a lot of people are always like, oh, I don't know if I could do a short. And I'm like, anybody can do it. It just, you got to figure out the beats to it. And then once you do, though, it's addictive, because you can pump them out so much faster. Yeah, Sam.
Don't expect any spice, diet, or otherwise from me in a short, because I apparently only know how to write slow burns.
It's hard. That part is hard. Now I have figured it out, but that part is really hard. And you do have to have, I need a little bit more, that 10,000 words for this anthology. I was like, this is gonna be hard, but I gotta do it. Because
is 15,000 words considered anything, or is that a weird gap between short story and
15,000 is novella. Novella goes from 15,000 to 40.
Okay.
And then 40 is a novel.
Okay. 40 is a novel. Okay.
Yeah, anything over 40. It's like short story is up to like 15, and then 15 to 40 is novella, and then 40 on is
have what they call a novelette, so
yeah,
which is like between short and novella. So
like
Okay.
15,000. Yeah, I mean, but like you're splitting hairs like there.
I
I mean,
have
the thing is,
so
that's the thing. Like if it's a novella or under, I cannot price it higher than 99 cents.
on my old blog, I had a couple of like short stories that like someone would post a picture on Instagram. They're like writing inspo, base a story around this, and one was like just a pink sparkly cocktail, and so they're rough. Like I didn't edit them; I just like blasted them out. I have no idea what the word counts are, and I threw them on my blog that had the typo in the URL. So I need to go like get those. And there was one. It was the pink cocktail. There was the worst date I ever went on, which is a true story. I just changed the names. There was one more, and I'm like, those. I could clean those up and actually kind of do something with those. Like,
But that's why, like, so that's how this paperback was born, because this is actually 3 stories right here. They were all, one is a novelette, and then the other 2 are novellas. And I just couldn't fathom charging what I would have to charge to put those stories in a paperback. So I waited and put the 3 of them together in this, so that people who do like a paperback could still get the paperback of this. Because I had a lot of people asking me about paperbacks for those, but I was like, in order like to get Amazon to fire up the print press, like
yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like I cannot charge you that much. So these were in only for a while, and then I got these bundled into, this is 3 stories right here, and it's only 200 pages, but they're cute.
they're
um,
cute.
they're
very
cute.
very cute. They're very,
So
I
and we
punch
love
my ex in the nose.
Tango is pretty much my husband. Like we love Tango.
it was wonderful. And I did like, so it was funny because a lot of MC series, they do the president first, right? But I was like, no, we got to lead up to that. Plus, this was an accident.
Be cool.
This series wasn't even planned. That MC series started, hey, how's it going?
Hi.
The MC
Good
series
morning.
started because I had a friend who was trying to really help get my name out. She was like, you have to do all these things. We're going to get you there. Because I told her, I was like, I can't pay for advertising. So like, this is grassroots operation, dude. And she was like, we're going to get you there. She was like, you're going to sign up for all of these anthologies. And I was like, okay, because I was new and everything. And I was like, whatever she says, I'm going to do it, because she's done things that I would like to do in the future. So I signed up for these anthologies without stories in mind. But she was like, don't worry about it. We'll get you a story. You're going to be fine. And I was like, I'm glad that you have enough faith in me, because I really don't know. And that was one of the first shorter stories that I had to do. And I really didn't know what the hell to write. I knew we had a theme. We had to have a big dude and a little dog. And there had to be a motorcycle. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't write MC stuff. Like, I'm very light and fluffy. And they said they wanted it to have more of a rom-com vibe, which was weird based on the stuff that they wanted in there. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And literally, like, I was on TikTok Live, and I was like, somebody give me tropes, give me something to write. And a reader actually threw out the idea for the brother's best friend. And then poor Kate happened to be in the line of fire, because I was like, okay, I need a main female character, and I need her. And the reader had said, maybe she's coming back into town. They hadn't seen each other in a while. And Kate has this wonderful story where she went to New Zealand, a long time ago. And I was like, hey, so I'm going to put you in a book, and you're welcome. And she was like, what? And also, though, I did get her some on paper revenge. So I was like, I need some details of your ex, And then I knew a few things about her past, but then I wrote stuff in there that she was like, how did you know this? And I was like, how did I know what? I was like, I was trying not to make her 100% like Kate. But one of the things that I wrote in there, she was like, that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I was like, you shut up. Because she had never told me that. And I was like, that's weird.
I
And
had wanted to go to beauty school and I wanted to learn to do hair, and my dad was a dick about it. And so I never got to go.
so she got to live out her dream of being a stylist in the book, and she also got to punch out her ex in the book. So
And then as soon as this was released, he announced his divorce.
yeah, so this guy gets taken down by her. Like, that's the thing. I was like, you always see where the main male character swoops in and saves the day, but I was like, no, my girl's gonna handle her own business, okay? So she punches him out in the book, and the rest is all fun stuff. And seriously, the book releases, and she's like, oh my God, he's getting a divorce. I just saw on Facebook, and I was like, people better watch out what happens when I write in my books, okay?
I didn't see it. About 6 people messaged me, and I'm like, great.
So that's how the rest of the MC series was born, though, because I wrote that one book.
Kate's not really a badass guy.
And I put them in an MC club, and somebody said, what about that guy? And I was like, that would be a cute story. And then so then I wrote another one, and then somebody asked about, oh, you should do more. So then I wrote the third one, and now there's all of these people were like, hey, this guy, and this guy. So like I have at least 3 more stories for that series now that I'm going to write. So that's why I say, like, there wasn't even a plan for that. And then I kept it to the novellas because that's how the first few went. And they were great. They were fun to write. They're easy reads. They're quick reads. And you still get a lot of stuff going on, but they followed the same storyline altogether too. So it was cute. And yeah, like, that's why I say I will write villains of people that you guys need me to, but be sure that you really want bad things to happen to them, because you never know.
Oh, his divorce is his own doing.
Apparently my testing skills are on point, is all I'm saying. So just
Sam, I saw the thing you said you're going to do like 5 monster shorts in a book, and I wanted to tell you that I need to make you a TikTok because I'm back in the Minotaur room. I need to put the cover, I figured out if I open up book covers, if I save the covers on my iPad, I can invert the image just on my tablet, and then that way I can make TikToks. I'm like, I gotta make a TikTok with Sam's book in this room. Feel free to use his name.
Yeah, Rose is saying she's got somebody who she in fact would like me to write as a villain.
Hey, I tried forever to get the whole Ed Gein of romance thing off the ground. We all just share shitty stories of our ex, so we all can pick and choose what shitty things get to use in our book villains. That way our hands are clean, but someone still writes about them being an asshole. I got stories for days. There's so many times April's been I'll put something in a book and she'll be like, what? How did you even come up with this? I'm like, my ex did it.
All right, ladies, Kate, I just dropped a bunch of links in the As Seen on Saturday Sips in the Discord.
Nice.
Most of them are Kindle Unlimited, but 1 or 2 of them are Comixology Unlimited, which I read a lot of comics, so I have. So you got to figure that out. But I've got to go to the bank and buy groceries and take my kids for breakfast. So
okay.
I'm out.
Bye, Sheri.
Ed Gein inspired, but it's not spicy. God, Ed Gein, that's why I call my ex the Ed Gein of romance, because you have this one person that inspired, I think, 5 fictional characters at least. I know it's the big ones Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then Norman Bates, and then Buffalo Bill, but then also American Horror Story did something with him, and then there was another one. But it's I literally have enough stories to inspire a dozen book villains with a chucklehead.
Reminded me, I almost died the other day. I was messaging Eliza, and I have been talking a lot this week because of the audiobook, and there was a line, there was a blip, And she even like she messaged me. She's like, "Oh my god, I found a blip in chapter blah 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 where she said something like her skin was warm from the skin, and she meant to say that her skin was warm from the sun." But it said her skin was warm from the skin, and I sent her a meme that said it puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "What do you mean what? You're
What do
supposed
you
to
mean?
laugh."
What?
She didn't know what it was, and I was like, "Am I that much older than you? Holy crap!"
Wait, hold up, Robert. There was an Ed Gein movie with Steve Buscemi. I love Steve Buscemi. Not gonna lie, I have a crush on Steve Buscemi.
Yes, Allie. Eliza was like, "What?" But then I explained it to her, and she was like, "Oh, I don't really do horror." And I was like, "I don't like
But
horror,
it was
but
in
when I
Joe
was
Dirt too.
like, everybody knows what that is." So, yeah, it was. I was like, "Well, she really like took the wind out of my sails," because I
I
thought
just got creative with materials. Oh my god, Tanya. Yeah, Steve Buscemi can do no wrong. That's funny. But like, there's been so many references to that. Like,
I was like, see, and Allie even said she didn't watch it, but she knew what it was from. Everybody knows what it's from.
oh my, bless her.
Seeing us, yep. Listen, and I say stuff all the time that and I'm so bad. Like, I'll write the same word twice. I think I was messaging Lori last night, and I'm pretty sure I typed you twice. And I don't know why I do that a ton. Like, I'll write VV and just keep going, and like I'll say you and just keep going. I don't know why. Like, I have this weird.
I do that too when I'm in my rough drafts. I have
Yes.
like double words all the. I think it's my brain just like glitches and like
I do it so much, but like I was talking to Lori, because Lori was helping me with. She's like, I don't know. She has books on Bella, so I have been harassing her. And I've actually been harassing her since last year. And I kept saying I was going to eventually do this. And now I finally did it. So I feel like now at least my harassment was finally like I followed through, because I've been talking about it for so long, that now I was like, hey, I have some chapters up on Bella now, so like I wasn't just harassing you for nothing. But yeah, but I don't know, new things scare me a little bit. So I was like, I feel so dumb. And I was like, how do I even find this? I was having a little panic attack because I got an email that it was live and then I couldn't find it. And she was like, oh yeah, they lie sometimes. Like, it's not really live yet. And then she was right. Like, I went back in a couple hours later and I could find it. And I was like, oh geez, like, God, they're giving me a conniption over here. Gotta leave it, Amazon. It's Amazon. So
I'm gonna do Bella, but I'm too scared. Same.
the only one that's been reading that story too. So Sam's caught up on the story. I put 4 chapters up. I'm gonna go schedule the 5th one for this week, but Sam's been reading along, so I'm gonna totally blame her if people hate it because she told me it was great.
No, we don't blame Sam. We love Sam. We protect Sam at all costs.
Sam can do no wrong. Like, but that's the thing. I'm always like, is Sam just saying that? Like, is she just being Sam? Yeah, the Zahn, oh gosh, just so many issues. I
need Sam to read all my books first. I told Sam she can beta read Lachlan for me once I have like it going. 2 books yesterday. The Christmas tree shifters. I can't wait for that.
She's already doing Christmas stuff, and I'm like, I wrote my Christmas book at Christmas time like a moron. So
but she got it out. I still think you should do a Christmas in July thing with that.
I am. So I don't know exactly when or what, but I have something kind of planned for July for that book. I still have people that are reading it though. Like people read that book now anyway.
It works year round because like Christmas is in it, but it's not like the center. You know what? It's like Die Hard. You know what I mean? Like it's Christmas is in it.
Background. It's not like
Yeah,
the whole theme. Yeah.
it's like the Die Hard of rom-coms.
The other day I was talking to somebody about, so I don't know if I'm doing it or not, but there's something I'm talking to somebody about book box, and I don't know if I'm going to be in it, so don't anybody get excited. But we were talking about book boxes, and we were talking about my books and how they're kind of all over the place. And she said, she's like, don't be upset, but I've never read a rom-com. And I was like, I write rom-coms for people who don't like rom-coms. So that's...
I don't like rom-coms.
I hate to admit this. I've never watched a Hallmark movie in my life. Now, I like rom-coms. I do, but I've just never watched Hallmark. I don't watch a lot of television. So, like, if it's not on Netflix and stuff like that, then I don't watch it, But like Sandra Bullock, I love Sandra Bullock movies, so rom-com queen there. Yeah.
Damn. Getting fired up.
Oh, there's going to be a fight here about Die Hard.
Oh, you going to join the watermelon challenge? Hell yeah. I haven't done anything about that. When I get home, I'll get back after it.
I need to do something. I don't know what though. Like I like to eat too much, but it's starting to show. So
I gotta just keep my blood pressure down, and then my knee's getting bad again. So so far I'm just walking in squats, but I'll increase as I go.
Yeah, I have arthritis in my hips, and it's been bugging me a little bit more than usual lately. But I've also put on some extra weight, so I'm like,
yeah, you see this? You see this? It's like I got more.
I've always had that. Like,
mine's getting worse though.
This no matter what. Yeah.
When is this watermelon? Okay, so by I think we said August 1st, it's like Kyla Ornick and then Chris Strong and then Kim. If you're joining us, join us. And then anybody who wants to. Apparently, I have to crush a watermelon between my thighs by August 1st because my main character in my book, Rafe, did.
Shelly, if you haven't, Shelly, you should really have Kate on.
I am on. I'm on the 18th.
Well, then, so she's probably going to read Wraith because she.
Yeah, when I get home, I got to send her the books.
She read Love Again before we did our little interview thing, so she'll read it and she'll understand the reference, and she's going to be here for it. And Shelly, let me tell you, Wraith is one of the best books I've read in my whole life, but it messed me up at the end a little bit. But book 2, everything's fine. Once you read book 2, everything is fine. Like you really have to read book 1 and 2 together. I had to wait like a couple of weeks. I had to demand to read her rough draft in order to get a little bit better. It was terrible. Yeah. Somebody else, like Sheri told me, she was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I've had a few people that were like, April, you're such a wimp. That was not that bad. I'm like, do you have a soul?
But when you read it, Shadow wasn't, like, I had half a rough draft, but like Shadow wasn't a thing yet. Like everybody who's saying like it's not that bad could pick up the next book right away.
But a lot of people read it like, and I was like, you seriously, something's wrong with you. I really am worried about you. But somebody said that about Raised by Venom too, and I was like, yeah.
Oh God, I still cry about Raised by Venom. Where is Peggy?
Okay, I'm still not okay. Like,
I'm still not okay.
There you go.
Where Shadow came out. Yeah.
Tanya says all the time that she's dead inside. So, but like, so I don't know, like if I really can.
I refused to read the last chapter until Shadow came out. Yeah. I don't know. I was going to just end it there because I'm a masochist, but then everybody told me. Then, I don't know, the characters kept talking. And then I wrote the second book and they're still talking. And I'm like, can you guys just shut up already? This was only supposed to be one book.
I have some new characters that are harassing me, but I'm like, get through
It's
one.
worse than race.
Things have just been crazy lately, and the characters that I need to talk to me are not talking to me at all. And Kate is very upset with me, but they're not there. Like
I haven't said anything in a while.
I don't even know where they went. So I'm trying to finish up this rom-com that I dropped into Vella because I have enough where I'm going to schedule out through April. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I have this copy here because one of my ARC readers won this, and I'm going to sign it, and some of the other authors are sending me book plates to put in there before I mail it off to her. But yes, thank you for checking it out. That one's 100% for charity. And it was a labor of love for so many of us, especially Sheri, which Sheri jumped out, but,
Wait.
are you talking about race still?
Who screeched at the end of a cliffhanger? Oh, bye, Saren.
Sam, I'll wait. Even,
Raised by Venom or
the reader and told her that I was waiting on some book plates, and she was really excited that some of y'all were sending book plates, so she's totally fine.
I forgot a comment.
Oh, for Tanya's book.
Oh. I have branches, and now there's another branches coming out in April, I think.
I was gonna say, her next coming out soon too.
Yeah,
that
one, the second one.
That one's in my Kindle, and I started it, but I had to put it down because it was like the on-page violence was a lot for me. So like I haven't.
Was that branches or was that mask?
Mask, I think.
Okay.
It was the first one with the serial killer. It's on my Kindle. I'd have to go look, but like she's a serial killer.
Branches of Intimacy is out in April. Okay, so I
started it kind of. I went in willy-nilly, and that was a bad idea. So yeah, so I did. I started it, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read this book because she's so cute and amazing, and I'm gonna support her. And I did buy it though, because that was before I had Kindle Unlimited, so I did pay for the book. But I read a couple of pages, and I was like, oh my god, like I am traumatized. So. But it makes sense. So like, note to self, read the blurb, read the trigger warnings. I do that with people I don't know very well, but sometimes like if I find an author that I really just like their vibe and I want to support them, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go read the book, and I don't even know what the book is about. And yeah,
well, thanks for joining us, Kim.
It was a lot. So, but she's gotten some really great reviews. So, like, if you are into that kind of stuff, you should check it out because apparently it's a really amazing book. Yes, I am a sensitive baby. And that's the thing. Like, I know better than to go in blind. So it was my fault because she has a page of trigger warnings in the front, and I just went right past them. And I didn't read the blurb. I do that with people. Like if I find an author that I just really like, I am like, oh, I'm just going to go read this. Like Sam's books, I never read one of her. I still haven't read any of her blurbs, and I have the paperback. So
I don't think I've ever read any of your blurbs. Like I just got one of yours the other day, and like I don't even know what it's about. I'm like, I'll read it. Like I forget. Like
I mean, that's the thing. Like, and I know better. Like you know, like stuff doesn't really bother you. Like you don't have very many triggers. Like so, it's not that big.
I don't know.
But oh my God, Allie, exactly. So I don't know what it is, but a lot of dark romance readers and dark romance authors enjoy my books. They're like their little palate cleansers, right? Mm-hmm. Which is so weird. Like I love it. Like Melissa, she writes some pretty darker themes, and she loves Love Again. Like, and it's peak. So like when she did her year-end review, you have all of these like dark, books with like blood and stuff all over them, you know, and she's flipping through and it's all like dark, stabby and stuff. And then you see Love Again's pink cover with a flower on it go across. And I was like, that's just the best thing ever. So I have all of these people that write this really dark stuff, and we were friends and we follow each other, and I'm like all up in their comments all the time and stuff. But yeah, like I have a lot of hard triggers, and so and that's why I say though I get really excited sometimes when I'm like, oh, they're lovely individuals and I want to support them, and so I do occasionally go in blind and then I screw myself over. So
I have so many books. Like, I'll open up my Kindle and like look at my library, and it's like there's so many books. Like, a TikTok will hit me just right, and I'm like, all right, sold. And then I forget who the author is. I forget what the book is. I forget what the cover looks like. I forget what it's like about. And then I'm like, a month will go by, and I'm like, who the hell's book is this? I'm like, like. There was one, I don't even remember who the author was, but when that Jason Momoa loincloth fishing video was like doing the rounds, she literally put that up, and she's like, if you want this, my book has this exact scene in it. And I was like, sold. And I bought it, and I can't remember which book that is now, but it's in my Kindle. Like,
Allie, I have one of Elizabeth's books in my Kindle, but I haven't opened it. Now, Kate read it and said that it was great, but I haven't read it because I heard.
Is that the Red Riding Hood retelling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It gives a whole new meaning to the big bad wolf, you know, eats red. But
what was that when? It's a novella. I don't remember the name of it. She
Queen
said,
of the Night.
don't do it. Yeah, I am such like that's why you have, yes. But
it's a laptop closer.
I think then like Kate, when I was beta reading for her, I told her I have all these weird triggers, but if I know about them in advance, sometimes I can push through. It just
I
depends.
don't really do violence, but I've already sent her Wraith, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. So it starts off with a party brawl, and it just gets worse from there. And she's like, okay, like
the party brawl. I was like,
that was more fun than anything. Like,
but then there's some other stuff, and there was one thing in Black Rose that she told me about, and I was like, what? I need to know what happens. I was like, you have to tell me if it's okay. And she was like, yeah, the torture depends on how long it is, because like Peggy has some torture in her books and it happens so fast. Plus, that's one thing about being friends with other authors. If I really want to read their books, I'll ask them, like, I need to know when and where the bad stuff happens. Oh yeah, see, I can't do this super long. Like, even I love JC's mystery books, right? But she told me not to read book 3 until I talked to her. Like, I didn't even say, like, she messaged me, and because I told her I loved book 2. Like, book 1 was great, book 2 blew it out of the park. And then I was like, I keep saying I need to read book 3, and she's like, don't read book 3 until you talk to me. And I was like, oh. So I don't know, it must be a little gory.
does it really well. Like, it's like a long part of the book, and like you might see like them setting up, or you might see like a little bit of it, but a lot of it's just like the after effects, or like he's just tired and he's hurt or he's whatever, but you're not seeing, she like, there is some of it in there, but like I don't feel like it's like beating you down. And it's more of so there's Havoc, her first one, which Havoc and Emily would be best friends. Like, Havoc is my book girlfriend. Oh my god, I love her. She's so cool. And then, but the second book is the mafia guy's brother, and he starts off as a cop. He's like a son of a mobster, but he becomes a cop, like, because they had different moms, and like one son chose to go with the family, and the other son's like, no, I'm gonna go on the straight and narrow. But he always has this stigma that his father's a mob boss, but he becomes a cop, and something happens at the end of book 1, and he gets taken. And so it's like the whole, like, half of book 2 is just him being held, and I wouldn't even go too far as to say it was like all that intense. Like, it was intense, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up, or oh my god, this is giving me like a physical reaction, or, you know, like, it was just like, she did it really well.
think she's talking about Kathleen, Sam.
Yeah. Dante, I think, is the second book.
Hey, I looked up. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it really depends on the level of description and the length, I guess. Because like I finished Emerald Skies last night, and there is a scene towards the end that it was graphic, but it was like a second of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, but I got past it because it wasn't very long. Like, I think even in Raised by Venom, the torture scene in there was a little bit longer, and I still was like, okay, like it sucks, but it wasn't so gory that I was traumatized by it. Like, what was happening, but it was enough. That's the thing too. I think the more I start to read all of these different things, I'm getting a little more desensitized. I still have to like work my way through some of this stuff. Plus, if it's fantasy, so like when we're talking about like Emerald Skies is fantasy, there's werewolves and vampires and angels and all kinds of stuff in there. Like it's fantasy. And then Raised by Venom is fantasy because it's vampires versus slayers. So when it's like urban fantasy, paranormal, whatever, my mindset is a little bit different because I'm like, well, that's not real. But if it's like a contemporary setting and it's really graphic like that, that messes me up a little bit more because then it's like, this could really happen. You know what I mean? So it changes the way I go into reading that stuff. But there are some books like Allie was saying, that one by Elizabeth, probably still not suitable, even though it's obviously, I think it's still a fantasy book. I probably still couldn't get past if it was that long and intense. Like if it's purposefully for shock and awe value, you know what I mean? I can't do those.
It's not jumping out at me. I might have to look at that again, like, because that book.
It could be a different one. She's got a new one out.
Oh, so does she? Oh, okay.
She might be talking about a different one because that one was from a while ago. The one that you read.
Yeah, the Wolfshifter one.
And like I like some things. Like I love yeah. And yeah, that's like, I don't know. Like I get there's going to be something. You have to have the black scene, and no matter what kind of book you're writing, you have to have that intense moment. But for me, I know some people love it when it's super intense, super gory, super wild, they want it really just to go nuts. Like, but I can't handle that stuff. Like I can't watch the Saw movies. That's too much. It's that I cannot do those. I'm like, oh my God.
I made someone bleed one time when they did watch that.
So in like the Purge stuff, I've never seen any of those because the premise of it sounds to me like it would just really mess me up bad, So in those kind of things, so that's kind of that whole like shock and awe stuff that I can't do that, but I know that so many people love them,
I did all the ones like in the late 90s, like the Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and like I loved those then, and then like all of a sudden like Saw came out and it was like, nope.
I don't know. I Know What You Did Last Summer was a little more psychological thriller. Like there wasn't a ton of like gore, It was like the psychological aspect of them like harassing them, you know what I mean, and scaring them and stuff. But so that one wasn't as terrible. There were some parts of Scream though that I was like, like the tree. Oh my God, yeah. I still to say that has been ingrained in my mind, and I'm like, I hate that I saw that. But
my friend made me go to the new Texas, well, not the new, but the one that came out in 2002, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like some guy wanted to take her out, and I was visiting her, and so she's like, "You have to come with us," and I'm like, "I fucking hate you!" Like, I'm like watching it the whole time, like this at the theater.
I read the blurb after I was traumatized, and I totally understand the purpose. I do. It's just that kind of stuff is hard for me to get through. Even though, so that's not shock and awe value necessarily. It's just still like, it was a lot of very detailed stuff on page, and I was like, I can't read this right now. So I might revisit it.
Oh, cool.
Like if I'm in a good headspace, I might be able to go for it, but it just depends. Did you, Robert? That's really cool. I don't know if I could handle that though. Like maybe if I knew, like if I was behind the scenes watching this stuff happen, I don't know.
But you'd watch him put like the fake blood on. Like you'd watch him do like all of like the setup and this and you know what I mean? And then like and then it's like, okay, action, scream. Like
I thought everybody knew I didn't do stabby time. Because that's what I say all the time. I don't do stabby, but I like pokey. So,
the other kind of stabby.
But it's okay though. Like, I mean, I didn't have a nervous breakdown or anything, but I knew I was like, I better stop reading this right now or I'm going to be messed up. And there's been other books. I've had some books of friends that I had to stop, put it down, walk away, and go back after I read a rom-com. And even the first time I read one of Rebecca's books, one of them, she has, like, there's fight scenes in all of it because, again, it's vampires and stuff, so there's a ton of fight scenes. And there's a couple of books where she gets really detailed with some of the stuff. And I stopped reading. Like, I read the fight scene, I put it down, and I found a sweet romance, like, so there's no open door stuff. There's no cursing. It was a novella. It was adorable. It was like literally the cutest thing I've seen in my whole life because I was like, I need something really light and fluffy to recover so that I can go back and finish that book. Because I was like, I'm going to finish this book. I'm too invested in the storyline to not. But I was like, I need a break. So, and even that, though, wasn't the most detailed, intense stuff ever. And it was fantasy. So, but I was like, I need a little break and then I'll go back to it. So,
yeah.
And yeah, I read Lori's books. And there was not a time in Lori's books where I had to stop. There are fight scenes. But it's like, I don't know. The description is you're getting the action without
devastation.
Without the gory parts, I guess, if that makes sense.
Cheers to that. I emotionally devastated April within like the first month of us being friends, and apparently she still likes me, so.
I mean, I guess I'm a little bit of a masochist because I read it a couple of times. So. And that's funny because Sam writes wolf shifter books and there's fighting in that too.
It's funny. I just did that podcast and the first part of it aired on like last Monday. And like majority of what we talked about was how April just yelled at me after she read my first book. And I think we all need a friend like April. It's going to yell at you.
I was happy. Like, I love the book so much, but that's the thing. Like, I was so invested in this story and these characters, and I was cheering for these characters so hard. And then you get to the cliffhanger, and I was like, "You're a monster! How dare you!" Like,
but Shadow makes up for it. I hope.
Because the book I most crap was like is my rom-com.
5 chapters into Wraith and I'm already getting like all capital text messages and she's like, "Damn it, Kate!" And I'm like, I didn't do it. And like she's like, "No, you just write really good." And now I'm angry at my candles and I'm like, "I'm sorry." I'll buy you candles.
But yeah, Allie said that even the rom-com she narrates hit the feels, and I'm like, yeah, the most one that I've been told I've done the most emotional damage with is one of my rom-coms.
Airport scene survivor.
Everybody talks crap about the airport scene, and I'm like, but did you die? Like, and it's not a cliffhanger at the end of the story.
You can use that line. You could say your candles flicker in discord, Lori. I won't be mad. They're just words. I don't own them.
Okay, Saved had a little bit. I was listening whenever you do audiobooks, you know, as the author, you get the files and you listen just to make sure you don't find anything like blips, which, because she's a human and this is hours, days of work. And because I'm poor, she does her own editing for my books because she can't afford to hire out the editing. So I listened to the book, and I was listening to Saved this week, and I was like, okay, I'll give it to these people. This one was a little emotional.
Oh, I'm gonna need one of those codes when you get it.
And listening to Eliza do it just made it worse, you know?
All right, all right.
Different when you have a voice actor nailing it. And like there was this moment, it was like the black scene, you know, where and Eliza, I was like, you know, and then there's another, like, so there was quite a bit of emotion in this one, and I was like, I was texting Eliza the whole time, and she was like, you wrote the book, and I was like, we've been through this before. It's not the same as when you narrate it. It's a totally different book now. And yeah, I made that video. I was like, listen, I always try to act like it's not a big deal. I totally discount the airport scene, but I will give you that Saved
He
might
needs to
have
like
a bit of
focus
emotional.
on that for marketing. Like that's all you see in Facebook groups. Like, I need a book that like is gonna rip my heart out. It's like people want this, and it's like you need to capitalize on the airport scene. Like,
So one of my advanced readers, literally, like, well, not one, a couple, and like the notes that Sam sent me, like she was like, I can't even see. I'm crying so hard I can't see. And then I actually had people sending me videos of them crying while they read Saved, and I was like, I don't remember it being that bad. Like, you know, I was like, listen, there was some stuff, but like, but now hearing Eliza, I was like, I apologize to all of you because yes, it was a little intense there a couple of times.
Sam, I'm really starting to wrap my head around. Maybe, I mean, I've claimed things on ACX, but like I'm starting to wrap my head around like maybe I test the waters with Black Rose.
You should do it. Put up auditions. Holy crap!
Because like I don't have to do it. I can just put them up for auditions and just chill, right? Like I don't.
You'd be surprised how many you get too. Now I will say this: I didn't put up auditions. I made a sad face TikTok video, and I got people interested that way.
Oh, Sam's yelling at me.
So, and like Wraith, oh my god! Like,
should I do Wraith or should I do Black Rose? Because neither one of them.
both.
Black Rose. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You just
see, there you go. Like, you can listen to the auditions and say no, thank you, and you can still leave it up. Like, because if you do it through ACX and like set up auditions, you'll just sporadically get some. Like, you might get a bunch.
It's too many POVs. That's why I've put off doing it, Allie. What's Black Rose, like 4, 5, 4? There's 3 major POVs, like, because the best friend kind of, because when I wrote this, I thought I was writing women's fiction, and so I just didn't just make it 2 people. I just kind of did, it was her story of how she metamorphosized, I guess, and like how relationships and friendships died but new ones bloomed, and so it was everybody who contributed to her growth. And so it ended up being like the love interest's POV, the new best friend's POV, the old best friend's POV, and then was there one more? I can't even remember. I don't even know how many. So there was too many. And then so my first 2 books, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, I went all hog wild and foolish with POVs, and at least in Shadow I cleaned it up and just did 2. So that's why I've been scared to like put it up. But then April finds the, the unicorn over here, and it's like, oh no, one person can do multiple POVs, and it's like, and then Peggy's killing it with I think Blanca does all those voices and stuff. If it's there, it's not there. See, I'm the hot mess author. Like,
I write first person and I have multiple points of view, and Eliza did great. Like, I told her in advance, I said, romance readers can be really intense. Um, but I have full confidence in her. And we only had a couple people that said they wish they had a dude, my dude's voice, but they also said that she did a great job. So like they've been very respectful in the reviews. And most people said they didn't miss it at all because she does such a great job. So I think that most really great. Yeah, Allie can even do it. Allie is great. Like if you've never heard any of her samples, and she does some stuff live from time to time. So like I think yes, there's a whole group of people that, it is like when you have the pair doing like the man and the woman, it's wonderful. Like I've listened to so many romance books that you have, the two different narrators. And it's a great experience, but I've also listened to so many books that have just the one narrator through the whole thing. And I don't miss it as long as it's a good narrator. Hey, how are you? I was talking about you earlier, Sheri. But yeah, so it really just depends on who you have and how they nail it. But I mean, Eliza, God bless her, she's like with book 2 of the club series, she had so many different dialects that she had to go through. And then, of course, in 3, you have even more new characters, plus the characters from books 1 and 2. And I told her, I was like, wow, I'm so sorry. Like, so there's like 500 characters in book 3. And none of them talk the same. So, but she did an amazing job. So I'm really excited. So I wouldn't let that stop you, because I think there's a lot of narrators that can totally do all of them, you have to be very specific about what you want. Like, and of course with the auditions, you're only going to get a small sample. And even then, like, you're not giving them a full rundown of the character sheet. So it has to be like, if you think that you like them, then you have to have a conversation with them and say, here's what I got going for the rest of the book. These are the different characters. And Eliza was like, I'll do however many auditions you want. I can do any of the things that you want. So I was like, this is why I went with her, because she said, I'll voice these people however you want. Like, if everybody talks differently, just let me know. I'll work it out, So a lot of it had to do with
oh boy, oh gosh, now the pressure's on.
A lot of it had to do with communication, So she isn't she?
Yeah, amazing.
I love her.
I guess I know what I'm doing when I'm getting home.
I mean, it's so simple to throw it up there too. And then, like Allie said, just because you get auditions doesn't mean you have to entertain people. And I mean, I had to turn people down. And yeah, she and I have become really good friends. So that's why I was like, I'm really sad about this book being done, because that's like all we had in the works. Like, she contracted to do the 3 books for me because I wanted to have the same narrator for the series. And of course now I'm like, okay, I just got to keep writing more of the club series so that you'll narrate it.
Yeah. Oof. Okay, I guess I'll start wrapping my head around that, and when I get home in a week, then
pick my brain. Like, I'm here to help, but
yeah. Oh no, obviously I'm gonna pick your brain. Like,
excited, Isla.
We'll figure out and motivate each other. Yeah, Lori.
Well,
she's an asshole.
Lori, I was putting my chapters up on Vella finally. So she said, well, she said that she had been wanting to get back into it because she already has stuff on Vella. So she kind of was like, you know what, maybe I need to get back in there. I had some stuff that I wanted to do, and I was like, well, we can be Vella friends. Like, maybe if I keep putting mine in there, and then you can get back to it, and we'll be Vella pals. So that's what I love. I love our little circle that we have, because
you know what? That's why I love the Romance Riot. Is because it's like you get a buddy for everything, and it's like I'm getting more done because like I'm doing body doubling, or I have my author friends that lean on me, or I have people who read, and it's like, when's the next fucking book coming? And it's like, oh, okay, got it. And then You know, now I got an audiobook buddy, I got an audiobook mentor. Like, Team Romance Riot, guys. Like, if you're not in the Discord, you should join. Especially if, you know, all this might change. But,
Oh my God. Look into Vella for
oh,
me. Like, I need to get some coins and read some other people's books too. But yeah, I mean, it's all very new.
Team Romance Riot.
But I've been wanting to try it ever since it came out because, like, FOMO is a thing.
It's chaotic, Isla, but we'll help you.
I love her, and her books are so cute. They're like right up my alley. You know, it's contemporary, spicy. It's, you know,
Team Bella.
similar to mine. Like, so they're contemporary, but they're spicy, and the characters are great and relatable and like real. I don't know. Like, that's why I say I write rom-coms for people who don't like rom-coms, because I mean, and the thing is I love very light, easy reads with very low angst from time to time. But sometimes it's hard to relate to the characters when everybody is so perfect, and like the problems they have are like silly. And I'm sorry, I know some people hate like the miscommunication trope, but that is such a big thing in real life. Like, people don't really know how to communicate very well. And that's why, like, it's very realistic for that to be in books, you know? So, like, my books are not for people who love, like, the cookie cutter stuff, you know? And because I've gotten reviews where people are like, I don't know, like, the main character, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right next door, somebody left me a review that for a romance author, that Layla blushes too much. She writes spicy books, but she blushes all the time. And I'm like, I blush at everything. I blush at everything. I can't even listen to Eliza narrate my book without giggling like a 5-year-old. And so, like, that's a real thing. Like, so it's weird how some of these books they have like perfect people. And I'm like, that's just not, I don't know. I like to write my people could be real people, you know? Exactly. So the romance authors still blush. Oh, Allie, yeah. Like, I have messaged Eliza so many times. I'll be like, excuse me, ma'am. Holy crap. And I'm like, what did I just listen to? So yeah, like, we blush, okay? Yeah. Maybe not all of us. And the thing is like, if I'm reading something, I don't necessarily blush at that. But then if we're talking about it, or if I'm listening to audiobooks, especially if I'm listening to audiobooks, I've listened to all of Rebecca's books because she always has all of hers on audio. And
you blush harder at your own stuff.
Do what?
You blush harder at your own stuff. Like, how many times, like, Kate has practiced writing spicy, guys, okay? So the spicy stuff is coming. And like, every time I send it to April for like approval, I'm like, it's totally cringe. I hate it. It's awful. And she's like, ma'am, don't you ever talk about yourself that way again. I'm like,
yeah.
April approves. So
all the time, I'm like, Allie, or I told Eliza, I was like, I can't even look at you right now. And I told her one time, I was like, your husband is a lucky man. And she... Oh, I love you. I'm gonna schedule another episode for this week. I might drop 2 episodes this week here. Because I have a few to put.
Sam Lachlan gets spicy.
It is almost 11:15.
Yeah, I gotta.
So Kate is actually on a family vacation right now, but she's still.
I want to see something cool.
Like,
book cover.
I'm jealous of where you're at right now. But yeah, so yay. Thank you for checking out Vella for me. That's so cool. I'm so new at this. I don't know how it's going to go. And
I always hide behind my hair.
I know a few people don't really want to try Vella or whatever. I know it's like a separate thing. So once the book is done with Vella, it will go up on Kindle Unlimited, just like the rest of my books. I just wanted to play around and test this thing. But yeah, so Kate's out of town with family vacation.
Thanks for joining us, Allie.
Everybody's here is home. My husband's up there. I want to kind of go hang out.
Shelly, I have books to send you too for the thing coming up. So as soon as I get home, they're going in the mail.
One last time, though, thank you to everybody who purchased Straighten Your Crown, whether you read it on KU, got a paperback, ebook, whatever. This is 100% charity. It's on, it's going to have a 90-day run. It just came out recently. So, you still got a little bit of time, but once the 90 days is up, it's out, it's done forever. It is kind of a thick girl. Please be sure to check out all of the authors in here. You might find somebody fun, new that you enjoy. Like, that's why anthologies are great, just to get a new taste of authors that are new to you. And also, don't forget, Kate has books on Kindle Unlimited. Hers are very gritty, romantic suspense with a lot of action and stuff. Super amazing writing. I love her. And she's gonna kick me. Her writing is so much better than mine. I love it.
Stop it.
But I'm okay with my lot in life. Listen, go to her for the
Diet Spice.
Great
writing. Diet Spice for now. I will be passing that crown on eventually.
My books are the recovery reads for everybody who's read all the intense stuff. So, and I'm totally fine with this. I can bring it back. I bring it back into Smiley's.
Hashtag Diet Spice.
So, yes, Diet Spice.
Apparently, but someone rated Shadow. One of my first reviews up. They gave it 4 peppers, and I'm like,
yeah, and I was like, that's awesome.
I'm like, I got a pepper, let alone 4. I'm like, what's happening?
Proud because listen, if you want to writing a 1-star, fine, but at least give me my peppers. I had somebody and chili pepper, and I would not let it go. I was so upset about the 1 chili pepper, and I was like, 1? Really? They couldn't give me more peppers? So yeah.
Diet Spice. Yeah, Diet Spice. Real quick too, I've talked about this in the Discord quite a bit. I haven't made a lot of videos because it's hard here. But I am doing a Romance Riot blog. So the link is in where my links are. It's just the Romance Riot WordPress. But any new releases that are coming up, I've been posting the cover, the blurb, the links, and the tropes for those, trying to just get a little bit more visibility for the Romance Riot authors. We also have an author directory. So if you're I want a new rom-com or I want a new fantasy romance, you can just go check out the authors who are listed there. And as we go, I'm going to be posting more if an author has a signing event or just any kind of information. It's very, very basic right now, but again, it's just another way for the Romance Riot authors to have a little bit more visibility. All those posts automatically go to my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Tumblr, which I started a Tumblr to try to just, again, if we don't know what happens, if something goes away, and I am not getting into the Clapper app. I am trying. It's just not, I'm not vibing with it. I don't know. I don't think my app is working because it's
I don't really know what I'm doing with it.
I don't know what I'm doing with it, and
it seems so similar to this, but it's not. I don't know.
Yeah. So
we also have a Facebook group for the Romance Riot. So the Discord is really for writers, but we do have ARC readers and beta readers in there. But if you're a reader, just a reader, and you don't want to talk shop with us, because the writer group, we talk a lot of shop. We get a little silly, but we also talk a lot of shop. But if you just want to talk books and other stuff, we do have the Romance Riot reader group on Facebook. Reader Roundup on Facebook.
It's hard to say.
It's in my link tree. I think
it's in mine.
Hers, but it's the Romance Riot Reader Roundup on Facebook. And so that's a group. So if you want to go in there, we talk about books and stuff. And authors can post on certain days on certain things that we have. But we try to keep that more of a reader group. So we don't want a ton of self-promotion in there. But we do have certain days that you can. So even if you are an author, you can jump into that group with us and just watch out for those days. But you can talk about other things that you're reading, things that you're into, and people can ask for recs in there and that kind of thing. And even though everything's called the Romance Riot, we embrace all genres.
Robert's in there. I think he does a little bit of sci-fi and a little bit of fantasy and stuff. We have fantasy authors. We have mystery authors.
And not all have romance at all. A lot of books have romance in them, but some books just don't, and that's okay. So
Oh, yay, Sheri. Oh, hi, Andy. We're getting off, though.
yeah, we're about to go because we all have stuff to do, and like Kate's not even home; she's out of town with family and stuff. So
Yeah, I think all my family's waking up and they're like, "Where is she?" I'm like, "I'm just outside chilling, like with
but
the palm trees."
that's
Book cover is shadow right there.
I love it. But we'll be in the Discord probably chatting later. But yeah, definitely, if you're not in the reader group, go find us on Facebook. If you're a writer, find us in the Discord. We're trying to find ways to keep up with everybody. That's why Kate also started the blog to really help push the authors in the Romance Riot in the event that we lose certain apps.
And if you are in the Romance Riot and you have a book coming up, message me your cover, your blurb, a link. And some tropes are helpful. And again, it's just more visibility. It's not, it's free for our authors. And it's just hoping for that to grow and just have like a little bit more reach than what we have currently. So
yeah. So we're just trying to make sure everybody can stay up to date with us. And of course, if you haven't already followed your favorite authors' newsletters, not just us, just like any of the authors that you enjoy, even if you haven't read their books, but you like their content on TikTok, please follow their newsletters. I know newsletters are not the most fun thing for some people, but it's a way to keep up with those authors. And most of us do like either once a month or every other week. We don't send a ton. So just make sure you're staying connected.
yeah, Tanya, whenever you get that.
Instagram, Facebook, wherever else you can find your favorite people, just because seriously, it's not looking really good
I started a newsletter. I've had one out so far.
right now. So I don't want to lose contact with everybody. I'm trying to remember about my Facebook and my Instagram because of all of this stuff. So we'll see. Because yeah, the clapper thing is, I'm not throwing in the towel yet, but it's definitely weird. So,
but it's also owned by TikTok, so it's not safe either.
Wrong. I found out
it
that
was
wrong. So yes, I'll eat crow. I read an article that was talking about that, and it was wrong. So I crow on that. But it's just been weird. It's supposed to be the same, but it's not. I haven't seen the whole right wing stuff. It's just the whole feel of it is different. But I've only seen a lot of.
I'll body double with you on that.
So, but yeah. Anywho's, we're going to run. You guys know we can sit here and just keep talking. So we're going to take off. But thank you guys for hanging out and find us in all those places. And we'll be back for the next Saturday sip soon. Bye.
Bye.